The Phoenix Mercury head coach didn't just drop a name. During a casual postgame interview, he dropped a bomb that's now rippling through the league. When he openly bragged about recruiting DeWanna Bonner across multiple off-seasons, it wasn't just an offhand comment. It was a confession, one that hinted at a premeditated recruitment plan stretching back years, right under the WNBA's nose. What started as an innocent soundbite quickly spiraled into one of the most controversial stories of the 2025 season, a story that could change how the league handles free agency forever. For Indiana Fever fans, this revelation hit like a gut punch. Just months earlier, the franchise believed they had finally landed the piece that would elevate them from promising upstarts to legitimate contenders. Signing DeWanna Bonner was supposed to be the move that brought stability, leadership, and championship DNA to a young squad built around Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. Bonner was a proven winner, a multiple-time champion with the experience and poise to guide a team still finding its identity. The Fever's front office marketed her arrival like a homecoming for success. Billboards, interviews, and social media all echoed the same message. This was the dawn of a new era. The preseason hype was electric. Pundits praised the signing as one of the smartest moves of the offseason, calling Bonner the missing veteran link that could mold Clark's explosive rookie talent into superstar form. Fans imagined her mentoring sessions with Clark, teaching her how to handle the pressure, the double teams, the media scrutiny. For a franchise that had spent years clawing its way out of irrelevance, Bonner represented validation. The Fever weren't just collecting prospects anymore, they were building a dynasty. But that dream barely lasted 9 games. Less than a month into the season, everything crumbled. Bonner requested a trade, citing fit issues and personal reasons. When a deal didn't materialize, the team shockingly waived her outright. The decision was so abrupt that even Fever insiders struggled to understand what had happened. Official statements chalked it up to differences in playing style. Bonner's slower pace didn't mesh with Clark's up-tempo offense, they said, but no one really bought it. 9 games isn't enough time to determine chemistry? Something else was brewing behind the scenes. Fans started connecting the dots. They noticed Bonner's distant demeanor during games, how she barely celebrated big plays, how her body language seemed detached even during wins. There were reports of a mysterious personal leave no one could explain. And then came the eerie silence, no farewell post, no thanks to the fans, no emotion. Her departure felt clinical, pre-planned, almost rehearsed. Fever supporters felt duped. The same woman they welcomed as a savior had used them as a pit stop. Then the smoking gun surfaced. A video clip, barely 15 seconds long, began circulating online. It showed Phoenix Mercury head coach Nate Tibbetts smiling during a post-game press conference. His words seemed harmless at first, but when you listened closely, the implications were explosive. Luckily, the last 2 off-seasons we've tried to get DB to come back to Phoenix, he said casually. Unfortunately, she didn't pick us twice. 3rd time's a charm. I think it helped in that a little bit. That last sentence changed everything. AT was Alyssa Thomas Bonner's partner and a WNBA superstar in her own right. The subtext was unmistakable. This wasn't coincidence or good timing. This was coordination. The phrase we've tried the last 2 off-seasons. It wasn't just a slip of the tongue. It was an admission. It meant Phoenix had been in contact with Bonner, or at least attempting to recruit her, during periods when she was under contract with other teams. In WNBA terms, that's textbook tampering. The league's collective bargaining agreement strictly prohibits teams or their representatives from making contact or expressing interest in players tied to other organizations. The reason is obvious: to preserve competitive fairness and prevent backdoor deals. What Tibbetts described, with a grin no less, was exactly what those rules were written to prevent. The laughter in the room when he said it made it worse. It wasn't just what he said it was, how casual it was. A head coach bragging about violating one of the league's most fundamental rules, and everyone treated it like a charming anecdote. Within hours, fans clipped the moment and uploaded it to social media. The WNBA's first public tampering confession, one caption read. The video exploded across platforms, racking up millions of views. Phoenix receipt began trending as fans called for investigations, penalties, and accountability. The involvement of Alyssa Thomas added another layer to the scandal. Thomas, still under contract with the Connecticut Sun when these alleged conversations began, was apparently part of the recruitment process. Whether she acted as a go-between or simply encouraged Bonner to join Phoenix remains unclear. But the optics were disastrous. Personal relationships influencing professional negotiations blurred the ethical line entirely. When a coach openly credits another team's player for helping close a deal, that's not just awkward, it's damning. Under league rules, tampering can result in severe penalties, from hefty fines to forfeiture of draft picks. Yet as the days turned 2 weeks, the WNBA office stayed silent. No statement, no investigation, no disciplinary hearing. The silence spoke volumes. Fans began accusing the league of selective enforcement, claiming that because Phoenix is one of the league's flagship franchises, they were being protected. Analysts started echoing the same concern. If a head coach can admit to multi-year recruitment on camera without consequence, what's stopping others from doing the same? The Indiana Fever were left to deal with the wreckage. They had structured their entire roster and salary cap around Bonner's arrival. They built marketing campaigns around her mentorship of Caitlin Clark. They expected her to stabilize the locker room and elevate the young core. Instead, they were forced to pay a portion of her remaining contract while she suited up for arrival. It wasn't just a betrayal, it was sabotage disguised as free agency. Fever fans, who had spent years enduring heartbreak and rebuilding seasons, felt cheated all over again. Tibbetts' nonchalant confession didn't just reveal a possible rule violation, it revealed how normalized tampering has become. Everyone knows it happens. No one talks about it. Until now. And the league's refusal to address it only fuels the perception that certain teams play by different rules. The WNBA can't afford that kind of double standard. Not at a time when it's finally gaining global attention and fighting for legitimacy as a professional league. Meanwhile, Bonner thrives in Phoenix, reunited with Thomas, and back in a system that celebrates her style. The Mercury got what they wanted, and the Fever got left behind, holding a bill they never should have had to pay. Fans across the league are demanding answers, not just for Indiana, but for the integrity of the game itself. If this isn't investigated, what does that say about every other contract negotiation? How many players are already planning their next quiet move behind closed doors? As the WNBA grows, so must its accountability. Otherwise, scandals like this will keep happening, chipping away at the very foundation of competition. Nate Tibbetts' words may have been careless, but they opened a door the league can no longer ignore. Whether this leads to reform or gets buried under silence will define how fans see the WNBA in the years to come. So what do you think? Should the league punish the Phoenix Mercury for what looks like blatant tampering? Should players who sign big contracts only to walk away after 9 games face consequences? And should Nate Tibbetts be disciplined for admitting to multi-year recruitment in public? Let us know what you think in the comments below.